great about that, other than trying to help people who are in a state of invasion. Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Immigration Answer Show. My name is Jim Hacking. Today is the 19th of September, September 19th, Thursday. We'll be here for the next hour trying to answer all of your immigration law-related questions. If you can't tell, I'm going to the Cardinal game tonight. It's the Hacking Immigration Law night at the ballpark. We're going to see the Cardinals play your Pittsburgh Pirates. How's everybody doing? Ashman, we do not do EB5 cases. Hello, everybody on TikTok. Hello, everybody on YouTube. Like I said, I'm an immigration attorney. My name is Jim Hacking, and I'll be here for the next hour trying to answer as many questions as we can. Let's keep it tight. Let's be ready. When I call on you, please be ready to ask your question. A lot of people say it'll be a short question, but oftentimes it goes long. So try to get to the question as quickly as possible. How's everybody doing? We are 47 days away from the election, 47 days away from the election. If you are eligible to vote and haven't registered or moved, please make sure to register. Deadlines are fast approaching to be able to vote in what's going to shape up to be a very, very important election. Let's see who's here. JD in the house. Anna is here. Christine, hello. Robert says hello. Kwaku checking in from Kentucky. Whistling is here. Joanna says hello. Creaky Bones is here. Traylene. Jay Cruz checking in from North Dakota, as she often does. Tyrone, Gabriella, Lindy. Today is apparently St. Kitts Independence Day. Yassine checking in from Wisconsin. We got New Jersey in the house. Nicholas, Dammy, all the Yardies are here. Hello. There's some Yardies here, D-Skull. Don't worry. Nurse Laura is here. Calypso Girl. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get started. Jimmy was waiting patiently in his car, so I'm going to start with him. Hi, Jimmy.
Hi, Jim. I'm a big fan of yours, and this is my very first opportunity to be live on here. A quick question.
Awesome.
I applied for Asylum in 2022, and I got a work authorization later on when I met the time frame for it. Then my wife and I, we got married last year in December, and then she petitioned for me. We submitted the applications in March. My work authorization is expiring next year, so I put in a renewal notice for my work authorization. It was received and a receipt was sent. And then a few days after that, I got a denial notice for work authorization for the petition that she put in for me. And so now I'm wondering, what do I do from here? What are my options with the denial notice of the work authorization for the marriage-based green card?
Why did they deny it?
I have a document that I can quickly read to you here.
Yep.
So, yeah, they say that after a thorough review of your application supporting documents, we have denied your case that you submitted on March. You applied under Title 8 Code of Federal Regulations 8 CFR Section 274A 12C9. Okay. We have denied based on the reasons below. Generally, we grant employment authorization under 8 CFR 274A 12 in brackets C brackets 9 to applicants who, 1.
No. We were all waiting with bated breath on Jimmy's reading of his denial notice. That seems really strange. Maybe he'll come back. He probably got a call. Usually that's what happened. We'll give him a minute. Maybe we'll take a TikTok question while we wait for him. Let's see. It might be a little too early for Hina to have any in the queue yet. Actually, I don't know if Hina's here, so maybe I'll take one myself. Let's see. How can someone join the call? You got to go over to YouTube, find Jim Hacking Immigration. That's how you get on the call. Do I need to submit a new medical exam for my current case if I already submitted one previous case? Probably yes. I would say most likely yes. You don't want to get denied or have your case delayed just because they're wanting a new medical. All right. Did Jimmy come back? Jimmy did not come back. I don't know. Maybe Jimmy went to go file a new EAD application. Anna is here. Hello, Anna.
Hello, how are you?
Great. How are you doing?
Good, thank you for asking, sir.
What's up?
So my question is about the adjusting of the status for my mother. She's a citizen of Ukraine, and she moved in 2022 to the States on temporarily protected status. So she had temporarily protected status all this time. And I joined the army back.
She was paroled in?
Yes. Yes. At first, it was humanitarian parole and then temporarily protected status.
Great.
I joined the army in 2023, and then we started adjusting her status. So I submitted the papers in December 2023, and then I got orders to Germany. So I moved to Germany, and she stayed in the States because I did one I-130 and I-485 concurrently together.
Sure.
So she stays. She's staying in the States right now. I'm in Germany, and December we filed. In February, they asked for more evidences because they didn't count my income, BAH income, and I was looking to show around like 10,000 that I can cover and be a sponsor for my mom. It took me 2 months to get the evidences that I have enough money to cover for her. She is also my secondary dependent since last year in the army. And I got command sponsorship for her so she can move from the States and stay here with me in Germany. But we are still waiting for her green card. And I don't see any improvements. So since December 2023, I requested the expedition process in May, and I was denied. And I did it one more time in September, showing the commander's letter and also the command sponsorship. And again, they said that I met the minimal requirements, but then I got denied as well. They cannot grant me the expedition. So my question is, I don't know where I am and how long am I going to wait. On the page, it says that it's 11 months for the form I-130, and for the I-485, it's like 4 months. If it's around this time, because it's almost a year already, and I don't know how long it's going to be. Should I withdraw and start it from the Europe?
No. And I wouldn't have mom come until she gets her green card. I wouldn't bring her to the army base. What's mom's living arrangement? Is she by herself? What's the deal?
Yes, so that's the hardest part. She is alone. I rent a room in my friend's house, and the friend sometimes at home, sometimes not. So she is in Texas without the language. She doesn't know English much. And so she stays in that room. It covers. She has food, and that's it. So I worry a lot if something happens, like any kind of emergency, I'm not there to help. And I serve in the unit where I have missions. I'm sent to different countries. So sometimes it's just like a lot of my mind is there. Where's my mom? That's what I tried to explain in my request letter, but it didn't work out.
Well, first of all, let me thank you for your service.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for helping. When did you become a citizen?
Last year, it was July 2023.
Okay. And you said mom's in Texas, right?
Yes, correct.
So most cases in Texas are taking about 12 to 14 months for a green card. Do you know which field office would have her case?
I don't.
I guess, what's the big city does she live by?
So we lived by Austin, the biggest one. Right now, she's closer to Houston.
Okay. Well, we might be able to help her. The problem is, do we think that they're going to take, like, usually I can't sue them to get them to move faster until at least a year or a year and a half's gone by. You have special circumstances, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So Your plan is to get her a green card and then have her come to the base?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, we could try to reach out. We could try to talk to the U.S. attorney and say, hey, Anna's serving our country. She's really worried about her mom. The Army needs her. She goes on these missions. And maybe, I don't usually threaten to sue them, but we've sued them so many times in Houston, they know that I do sue them. So we could try, and that would save you a lot of money to do it that way. If you want me to, but I can't guarantee it's going to work, but we could try.
I'm willing to try anything that might work, because I tried so far everything what was in my power, and it's just, I feel like I'm knocking at the wrong doors.
Okay. Well, why don't you email me your mom's I-130 receipt notice, remind me that you were on episode 676, and then give me a short description of your situation, and then we'll go from there.
And I can get your email from?
Right there, info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com. I think she froze. There she is.
I can see it. Yes,
You got it?
yes, I see it right now. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, have a good day.
Yes, I got it.
Bye.
Thank you, you too.
All right, Juli's pointing down, so I guess that means Jimmy's back. Hello, Jimmy.
Hi, Jim. Sorry, I got lost somehow. I don't know how.
No worries.
So USCIS says that the records they have indicate that I filed the form I-485 to register permanent residence pursuant to Section 209 of the Immigration and Nationality Act.
Yeah.
Based on a grant of asylum status.
But that's not true, right? Did you apply? Hold on. Did you apply for your green card based on asylum or based on marriage?
Based on marriage.
Did you do this yourself, or did someone else file for you?
Someone else filed for us.
Did you click the wrong box as to what the basis was?
On our end?
Yeah.
No, we did not, as far as we know.
Do you have a copy of your 485?
I think I can retrieve it. Yes, I can retrieve it because we have access to whatever was submitted by the person who did it for us.
Do you want to send it to me along with that denial notice, and I'll take a look?
Yeah, sure. I can do that. Do you want me to email you?
But yeah, email. But here's the thing. So you have an EAD based off asylum right now, right?
I have it. It's expiring next year, and I put in a renewal for it already. I received a receipt notice for the renewal, and I'm just waiting for a decision for that one as well.
And when was the green card 485 receipted?
The green card 485 was receipted. Submission was March. Actually, today, coincidentally, we got notice of the I-30 form saying that our case is actively being reviewed.
That was a change?
That was a change today.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't worry too much, Jimmy, about the EAD denial on the 485. I'd be more worried about the 485 having the wrong reference. So let's take a look at it, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, thanks so much, Jim. I'm going to email you this afternoon.
Sounds good, Jimmy.
Thank you. Have a good day.
See you, buddy. Oh, Umra's back. Hello, Umra. All right. So here's Hina. Hello, Hina. Hina's got our TikTok questions. Mustafa, any update about those refugees who evacuated from Afghanistan in August 2021? The only update I have is that Congress won't do squat to help them, and things are going very, very slowly. Question number 2 from Adnan Khan. Can I apply for my son and daughter, age 6 and 5, tourist visa, as I have the visa, without their mom? Well, you'd probably have to get their permission. The United States probably wouldn't give you a visa to come to the United States without their mom's permission. Motion, travel, and tours. I overstayed by 180 days. A day less. What are my chances of getting back in? Well, if you already have a visa, you might be able to come back. If you don't have a visa, most likely they won't give you one. Cynthia says, how safe is it to go to San Diego as an undocumented person? Well, you are pretty close to the border, so you always got to worry about that. But California is pretty pro-immigrant and immigrant-friendly, so there's that. So, the problem with being undocumented close to the border is you're subject to expedited removal, even without Trump's twisted understandings of expedited removal and all that stuff. So San Diego is probably not the best place, although it is beautiful and I love being there. Lola says, I-130 petition filed in 2015. Mom's 85, husband is 64 and ill. What can we do about 10 years? Can't speed that up. It's just people waiting in line ahead of you, Lolo. There's nothing to do but to wait your turn and to make sure that you filed everything properly. All right. Let's go to Dybic. Hi, guys. You're on mute. You're on mute.
Can you hear us now?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. It's priceless. And we have a question, the following question. We received asylum on March this year.
Okay.
And right after that, we applied for green card, for adjustment of status, for 4854. And at that time, this approximate waiting time was about 30 plus months. So we didn't knew about nuances about 1 year rule, and we applied right after we received that. And in 5 months after we were granted, we received a request for additional evidence.
Okay.
And we have a 3 months to reply to this request. And if we reply in the last day.
What did they ask for? Did they ask for evidence of how long you've been living in the United States?
No, they asked our med.
They asked
Med.
How you met?
Medication.
Oh, medication.
Yes. And right now we're afraid that we're going to be denied, because if we send this mitigation in 3 months, it's latest possible time that they offer us, we still will not meet 1 year rule. What can we do in this, to prevent denial? How can we ask USCIS to postpone our adjudication?
You can't. You probably just have to wait the full year and then start over, most likely. If the case was no good when you filed it, then you can't fix it after. You need to wait until you're actually eligible to apply for the green card and then reapply. You didn't pay a filing fee, did you?
We paid already.
How much?
For whole family, it's $4K, about $4K.
Yeah, I mean, most likely, if you weren't eligible on the day you applied, you can't fix that later. If you didn't have enough time in the United States, if you applied too early, you can't fix it.
But they allow to apply earlier, and it's not saying anywhere that the person who is not apply.
That happens all the time. I blame them for a lot of things, but that's not their fault. If you apply too early, that's your fault. That's not their fault. They don't have systems in place to catch. I mean, think about all the mail they get every day. Right? So they open up a file, they open up an envelope, they see the cases, they see the check, they file it, they open it up, they give it a stamp, and then later on they figure out it's no good. There's no gatekeeper. There's no one saying we can't accept this case. So you're probably going to have to start over. Let's just wait and see what happens.
Can we ask them to, with our request for additional evidence, send them some mail asking them to postpone our case? Or
it's not about postponing. It's about on the day that you filed, you weren't eligible. We were eligible to file. We have to be there till the adjudication moment, and then we filed it. The waiting time was about 3 years. Right now it's 2 years, and for some reason they pick our case much earlier than the line. Doesn't matter. You have to be eligible on the day you file.
They changed the rules 1 year ago, and now we can apply right after we received asylum, and so we didn't break any rules, but it's you
just filed too early.
Okay, so there is nothing we can do, right?
I don't think so. Not that I know of.
Okay, thank you so much.
You got it. Yep, for sure. Back to TikTok we go. Hina says, Angela, I recently got married and I'm going to file my papers next week, but do I need to file for my child? Well, that depends. if your spouse has a green card holder, you would include them on the I-130, but they would need their own 45. If they're overseas, you would include them on the I-130. If it's a U.S. citizen, you have to file separately for your child. Or if you're here and they're there, oh, now I have a cowboy hat on TikTok. I don't know how that happened. That's funny. I guess because I nodded like that and they thought it was a cowboy. Zeus says, my wife and I got married earlier this year. I'm a citizen and she is not. She crossed illegally. Okay. Thanks for telling us. What do you want to do? What do you want to do, Zeus? You want to file for? You file an I-130, and then there's a lot of steps after that. You can check out my YouTube channel. We have lots of videos about that. Animal Naimi, after asylum is granted, do you still need to renew your EAD granted based on asylum? You would renew it based on the grant of asylum. Yep, it would be a different category. You would need to renew it, although probably not right away. You could probably still use your old EAD. Better to renew it when you can. Hamadou says, can I travel with advanced parole, even cross the border? You could. Yeah. Do you want to? Is it a good idea? I don't know. Lisette, how long does it take for an N-400? I'm waiting for 205 days. Depends on lots of things, your immigration history, how busy the office is, all those kinds of things can impact how long your N-400 takes, how complicated your case is. And user 837, I-751 pending since February of 2021. Any other option I have besides the lawsuit? Well, yeah, you can file your N-400. That might move it along, but I would sue because 3.5 years is crazy. 3.5 years is crazy. All right. Maddie's here. Hello, Maddie.
Hi, hello.
How you doing?
Jim. Good. So I filed for my husband. He's in Ghana. I filed for him February of 2023. We did a I-130. It's been processed. It's at NVC waiting. We had to transfer to Sierra Leone because he's a resident of Sierra Leone. And we're just waiting. We've tried to expedite because of fertility and they've denied us. Is there any... Like, I had my doctor, I've sent my medical records, everything, but it keeps getting denied.
Unfortunately, they don't care. He hasn't had an interview?
No, he hasn't gotten scheduled for an interview, nothing. And there's really no holdup.
How do you know Sierra Leone has accepted it?
They sent us an email as soon as we put in for the transfer. They accepted it, what was it? February?
And do you have any idea, like, how old cases are that they're doing actual interviews on?
So we follow a group, and I think the last time they've done any interviews was December 2023.
And you're what are you?
We were DQ'd February 2024.
So you're just chilling.
Kinda, but like, I'm getting older. We want to have their first children, so it's like
we could sue them. I don't know if it would work or not. It still works, but sometimes they file a motion to dismiss and say, "Sorry, Maddie, you haven't waited long enough." There's a lot of people, but certainly we file loss. Where do you live in the United States? Like
I live in Connecticut.
Connecticut, yeah. So that's not a bad place to sue. New York's not a great place to sue, but Connecticut's not bad. So we could try it. But I think there's a 40% chance because he hasn't had his interview yet that you get a motion to dismiss and then nothing happens.
Okay.
Good.
So what would be like reasons to be able to expedite if outside of family planning?
Well, I wouldn't be asking them to expedite. That's not what I would do. I would sue them. I would sue the State Department to try to get them to pay attention. And they would look at the file and they would say, well, do we want to file this? Do we want to fight this case and file a motion to dismiss? Or do we want to just give him his interview and move it along? So in the old days, they never filed motions to dismiss. But now on some of those, they say, yeah, they haven't been waiting that long. I mean, we would put in the fertility stuff in the lawsuit to try to get some sympathy. But it's really just about getting the State Department's attention because right now no one's paying attention to Maddie's husband's case in Sierra Leone. And it's just a way to try to get them to reassess. Do we really want to keep these people waiting or do we want to go ahead and let them get the visa?
Right. Okay. Alrighty.
Thanks, Maddie.
Thank you.
Okay, bye. Let's go to Mert. Hello, Mert. Are you there? can't hear you.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Gotcha.
So, so my plan is I'm currently working at a U.S. company located in San Francisco, and I am looking to do my master's at September. But I only have 1 year to stay in the U.S. afterwards. I know I have in total 3 years to fix this problem because I can do OPT for 1 year after I graduate from university. But I'm looking to wait for a way to permanently stay, and I feel like the a business sponsoring me is not guaranteed because I only have 1 year to prove myself, and I'd like to hear your suggestions.
Well, there's 4 ways to stay in the United States. What country are you from?
Turkey. And I studied in the US and I graduated from computer science. I have an F1 visa currently. Yeah.
So you're right, but there's no certainty in anything. But there's four ways to stay in the United States. One is if you fear going back to Turkey, you could apply for asylum if bad things are going to happen to you if you go back to Turkey. That's number one. Number two, you can, and every October you should apply for the diversity visa. Your Turkey is eligible. So every year you can apply for this lottery. It sounds like a long shot. There's 55,000 green cards set aside for people, and about 1 million people apply. But you should apply for that all 3 years. If you marry a U.S. citizen or a green card holder, you could get immigration status that way, or through employment. And so that would be, trying to find an OPT employer who'd be willing to sponsor you for an H-1B. I have a book called Staying Here. I can email it to you if you send an email to info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com. I can send you that book. It explains those 4 things. Those are the 4 ways you stay: asylum, diversity visa, family, or employment. That's it.
Okay, I'll send you an email. But I heard that there's H-1B visa and employment-based green card.
Yeah.
So which one would be easier or more guaranteed for me to get in the upcoming 3 years?
So green cards are a more green cards. Oh, Munther says I'm wrong. Munther said 20 million people applied for this year's lottery. I was way off. Anyway, an H-1B is the lottery. A green card is more certain. But the problem is that most employers don't want to go through all the expense and hassle of sponsoring you for a green card. They have to pay whatever the government says they have to pay. They have to go through this really hard process called PERM. They have to publish the job and be willing and able to say that there aren't any Americans who can do the job. So most employers, if they want to sponsor someone for an immigration benefit, start with the H-1B and then see what happens.
So we just suggested because I'm going to do my master's and I plan on and giving an ultimatum to my current job, either sponsor me or I'm going to study for my MBA. I feel like this company could provide me a lot, but at the same time, I will be working from the US and I cannot work with an F1 visa.
Right.
So I'm a bit confused here.
Well, I wouldn't give many ultimatums. I mean, you are coming to the end of your OPT, right? And you're getting ready to get your master's, right?
No. I came back to Turkey after I graduated from computer science, studied another university, business, administration and management. And currently I'm a business analyst at a startup in San Francisco. I talked to my employer. They told me that they could sponsor me in the long term, but the long term can be years. And
yeah.
I'm going next year. So
there's a great website you can check called myvisajobs.com, myvisajobs.com.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll show you every employer who has sponsored someone for an H-1B. You can look year by year, and then you can find employers who are willing to sponsor. I wouldn't waste much time with an employer who keeps dragging it out. They're either going to do it or they're not.
Yes, you're right. All right. Thank you so much.
Mert, see you, buddy. Good luck. That was our old friend Mert. Okay. Uli on TikTok says, how to get a green card? Well, I just answered that. If I have DACA, how do I have a green card if I get DACA? Well, really, that's only going to be marriage because DACA is not really a status. DACA is just we're not deporting you. You could get advanced parole and marry a U.S. citizen. That would probably be the only way someone with DACA can get a green card at this time. Adriana says, what qualifies for the combo card? Well, you have to have an underlying adjustment of status application pending, then you're eligible for the combo card. Here's a good one. Filthney Jr. Is USCIS going to be mad at me if I sue them? I've sued them 2,000 times, and I've never had them say they're mad or indicate that they're mad or thought that our clients were treated differently because they were mad. They don't take it personally. They get sued all the time. We're not asking for someone to get fired. We're not asking for someone to pay us money. We're just asking them to have somebody do their job. And I know that sounds crazy, but you do have the right to go into court, and the officers who handle the case, they never even really get into court. So it sounds scary. It sounds like you're going to go see the judge and everyone's going to be mad and yelling. None of that stuff happens. It's just a way to get their attention. All right. Let's go to Samir. Hi, Samir.
Hello. Hope all is well.
It is. How are you doing?
Good. I have like a couple of questions, if you don't mind.
Go for
The Islamic marriage, which is called nikah, is it as a official document attested or approved in the States?
No, that's just an engagement. You have to get your marriage recorded in the home country.
Okay, I've been living in Dubai along with, I'm gonna say, my religious wife, or like a fiance. She's an American citizen. She's from Wisconsin. We did the engagement around a year ago, and we're planning maybe to move along back home maybe next summer or so. What would you advise us to do? Shall we do the civil marriage here and then go, or transition and then do civil marriage? What would you advise for that?
I would do a civil marriage in UAE and file based on I-130. Based off that, I wouldn't do the fiance case. I wouldn't mess with that. I would just do the marriage case.
Okay, so you advise I do the marriage based in UAE and then file the 130 while we are in UAE, and we just need to wait maybe like a year or so for the interview, and this is how things goes along, right?
Probably 2 years.
Oh, okay. So 2 years. During those 2 years, I can't transition to the US. I need to wait for them, right?
How would you transition to the US?
I mean, like if I wanted to go and like if my wife decides to go and live in the US, so this means I need to stay in the UAE until I get my interview within the 2 years.
That's right.
That's right. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Samir. See you, buddy.
Thank you.
All right. This is the Immigration Answer Show. My name is Jim Hacking. I'm an immigration attorney practicing law throughout the United States, out of our offices in St. Louis, San Diego, and Washington, D.C. I'll be here for the next 27 minutes trying to answer as many immigration law related questions as I can. If you are interested in hiring our firm, please give us a call at 314-961-8200. That's only if you're interested in hiring our firm. If you're just looking for free advice, we got lots of good resources for you, including this show. You can always come and ask me questions either on TikTok or on YouTube. We also have our TikTok channel at Immigration Hacking, where I try to post something at least once a day. And we have thousands of YouTube videos, which is me answering questions. If you want me to do a video on a topic that's interest to you, if it interests me and it would be interesting to others, I'll do that too. And then we have our Facebook group, which is called Immigrant Home. And you can join us in the Immigrant Home Facebook group. It's free. There's like 13,000 people in there. And you can ask people questions, get a dialogue going. It's a great place to find out about waiting times, in particular embassies. And then finally, if you have a minute and you want to thank us for all the great content, free stuff that we do, Ashman, we don't do EB-5s. There's an attorney named Vaughn DeKirby in San Francisco who does those. You can go with them. If you want to leave us a 5-star review, we'd really appreciate it. Just go to reviewhackinglaw.com. Thanks for that. All right, let's go to BG. Hi, BG.
Hi, Jim. Can you hear me?
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah. So just a recap of my story is I was on asylum pending. I got married, got my green card this year. And after I had the physical green card, I made a copy and then withdrew my the asylum. But since I did it, it's been 5 months. I have not received any receipt. I have proof and the name of the person who got it. Do I need to worry about this for my removal of condition? I just bring that I did withdraw in case they ask me, because they mentioned it when I was doing my green card interview.
Yep.
Okay, that's it. Well, thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, BGC, buddy. Shiza's here. Hi, Shiza.
Hi, Jim. How are you?
I'm good. Who's that?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, okay. So, Jim, I have a question. I filed for my parents' sponsorship and the case was approved. But it's been 1 year already and they are still waiting for the interview.
Sure.
So what do you suggest me? A lawsuit will work or not?
What when did you file the I-130?
Maybe 1.5 years ago, and then it was approved, and they are waiting for the interview since 1 year.
So it's been documented and qualified for a year.
Yes.
Okay, and what embassy are you talking about? Islamabad or somewhere else?
Islamabad.
Yeah, that's 2-year wait. There's nothing. Lawsuit's not going to help with that. It's just a long, long wait.
Oh, really? 2-year wait?
Yep, that's what I'm hearing.
Okay. All right. Okay. I just have a good.
Thanks for the call. Good luck with the baby.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh yeah, but she wants her parents there so they can see that baby. I bet that's what that's all about. Poor Shiza. Isn't it a shame how we make it so damn hard for people to come to the United States? Isn't it ridiculous? Just ridiculous. Babies don't know their grandparents for 3-4 years. Babies don't know their parents for 2 or 3 years. Papa's here. Hello, Papa. You got that? You're on mute.
Can you hear me, Jane?
I got you.
Okay, all right. Thanks for having me.
Sure.
Initially, I filed for my wife in my case in 2019, and then they were updated unaccompanied. So I became a citizen 2023, and then they told me when I changed my status, it was already an MVC. When I decided to change my status, they let me file for separate case because they are underage. I mean, they were 12 and 13.
Yeah.
So 11 and 13.
Yeah.
So I 30 for them. I 130 for them.
Mm-hmm.
So that, which is 2023. So I was able to expedite it at USCIS.
That's good.
Proof. So they got documentary qualified on January 2024. And I already did 2 expedite, and then it's been denied. And
what embassy is this? Nigeria?
Ghana.
Okay. And so mom's case is already ready. Has mom been interviewed or no?
Yeah, mom is already here.
Oh, mom's here.
Yeah.
Kids are overseas.
Yes.
Got it. Okay. So these are your kids. You're married to a U.S. citizen?
No, that's my wife. I mean, no, I'm married to my wife that I filed for. She's here.
Okay.
My case. I mean, our case.
Gotcha. So wife is here. Now you're just waiting on the kids. When did they get documented qualified? In January of this year?
Correct.
Yeah, I mean, Ghana, everyone says Ghana is 14, 18, 22 months, something like that. So you're just waiting.
Okay. I heard about that Ghana has been slow.
Yeah, Ghana's slow. I mean, how long did it take your wife between when she's documentally qualified and got her visa?
Oh, with her, I was a green card holder, but then
Right.
Yeah, and then it was like, I mean, I think she got her interview date in May 2023. So I think it was she was documentally qualified for almost like 2 years.
Yeah.
And then it got faster because when I changed my status, that's why probably in May.
Yeah, it would have been longer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, bud.
All right. Thank you, James.
Okay, bye. All right. Island Drone says, Jim, it's so hard to come legally, and then they wonder why so many people are crossing the border illegally. Don't get me wrong, though. I'm 100% against people crossing the border. Thank you, Island Drone Adventures. Hey, who would like to go on an Island Drone adventure? That would be fun. Thank you, Island. Let's go back to TikTok. Let's see here. Sandeep, how long does my green card take to come in? I entered on an immigrant visa 55 days ago. That's what we're hearing. We're hearing 30 to 60 to 90 days, something like that. Molly says, how long does it take to to dismiss withholding of removal status? My mom has withholding of removal and I'm a citizen. How can I help her get rid of that status? Molly, you're going to need a lawyer for that. That's very tricky. That involves reopening the case, getting the I-130 approved, reopening the case, start to finish. You're probably talking about 2 years, and you need to start yesterday because if Trump comes in, that shit's not going to work. So you need to get that thing moving right away, Molly. Don't be waiting around on that. Wizzy Blacks. On my USCIS status, they said my case is left with only 5 weeks. So is there any possibility? Current client. Wizzy, I don't believe those online case status updates. They're all BS. They just make stuff up. It's general about cases that were filed around the time yours was. Bruna says, when applying for a green card marriage-based, how many months of taxes, years of taxes, I guess, should I submit of my husband? Well, you would need all 3 years for your affidavit of support. All right. Let's go to Joe. Hi, Joe.
Hello. Hi.
How you doing?
Good. So, I think this might be a quick question. Thanks for presenting these videos.
Sure.
So my wife and I filed. She's in Nairobi, and so we filed a 130 on July 4th. So we're wondering. Our understanding is it takes a while for the 130 to be processed. It'll be DQ, and then we wait for a long time at the Nairobi embassy. We're understanding that they have like a 2-year backlog.
Ridiculous.
So we understand that it's possible to sue, and we're wondering if that would be after 2 years. So we're wondering if that's from the time the 130 was filed or from the time it was DQ'd in Nairobi.
Sadly, it's from when it gets DQ'd now. Now, it used to be in the old days, I would just sue them for the whole delay, but now they break it up and they say, well, did USCIS take a long time? Well, like if USCIS takes a year, you can't sue them. You can't sue the government as a whole. You got to take each agency as it is, and you got to see what stage it's at. So that shit doesn't work anymore. It used to, but not anymore.
So some folks have talked about transferring to other embassies.
Well, wait, but hold on. We're talking July of 24 for you, right? For the receipt.
Yeah, we just a couple months ago for our 130.
Yeah. So, obviously, that's going to take 12 to 14 months, probably closer to 14 months. Then once that gets going and you pay the national visa fee, if she's living in another country, that's going to make it a lot easier. But if she's sticking in Kenya and then you just hope to move it on the back end, Kenya's really bad. It's really slow. It's really backlogged. So there might be an argument about that, but I wouldn't worry about that stuff too much. And there's nothing you can do for a good long year and a half, 2 years. And who knows what the situation is going to be then.
Okay.
Sorry, Joe.
All right. Thank you.
It was faster, buddy. See ya. All right. My I-45 got denied. I filed a motion to reopen. Now they approved my I-130. What does that mean? Well, hopefully you filed a motion to reopen both of them, and they're working on the 45, which is probably what happened. Princess Helmandi, how long does an asylum applicant have to wait for her interview? I've been waiting since March 2020. Well, we have people who've been waiting since 2014 for an interview. You can always get an interview by suing them, especially on a case that's 4.5 years old, if you really want your interview. But of course, with asylum, we always have to ask ourselves, is it better to just keep waiting? Is it better to try to get my asylum so that I'm on a path to a green card? You always got to weigh the chances of you losing and getting sent back home. John Mendy, what can I do to speed up my I-601 and 212 approval processing time is saying 28 months. I think you're just waiting. I don't think you necessarily want to sue on something that's that discretionary. Tilin says, I filed I-130 for my wife and it's been 38 months and there's been no response yet. If you're talking about USCIS and you've been waiting 3 years for USCIS to rule on it, then you should sue them. It's not normal, Tilleen. If you're talking about the case overall, you are getting to the stage now, if the State Department's had the case for 2 years, that you might want to sue them. All right. Let's go to Georgie. Hi, Georgie. Are you there?
Hey, how are you doing, Jim?
Great. How are you doing?
Very well. So let me ask a quick 2 questions. One, have you done the I-360 religious workers? And if it's approved and the person is in the US, but priority date is not yet current, do you think the person would stand OOS, out of status?
I don't understand the question. So let's just talk about this person. When did they enter the United States?
I'm thinking sometime probably in 2019 or so.
And on a visit visa or what?
I believe so.
And then what happened?
I think they filed an I-360 at some
Right
point.
away? Right away?
Prior to the expiration of that visa, sometime in 2023, I
So they
believe.
entered on a visit visa. Then did they get married or what happened?
No, an I-360.
What kind of I-360? There's lots of I-360s.
Yeah, the religious visas, I said.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. She came on an R1, I believe. Came on R1.
Okay.
And then, did the I-360 sometime, and it was approved. But the problem is the date is not current for the I-485.
Yeah, so if they don't can renew their R1 or leave the United States, they will fall out of status.
Exactly.
Yeah, so the answer is yes.
I don't get it. So what happens? Could they remain in the U.S. waiting?
No. Listen, I don't know. So Georgie, like once or twice a year, I get a call, usually from a mosque, and they say, Jim, we have this great imam here, which is like a priest or a minister or a rabbi.
Right.
This great imam here, and we love him. And so he had 5 years of valid R1 status. And around year 3, we said, boy, we really don't want this imam to leave. We're going to go ahead and file for an I-360 for him. And then when Biden came in, those dates all retrogressed,
Right.
and it became like a 4-year wait. So then we had all these imams fall out of status because, like, for an employment-based green card in the other categories, the filing of a green card the green card would just be current and they could apply and stay in the States. But if they don't have a 485 on file, if they can't file because their priority date's not current, they either need to find some other status or they need to leave the United States because they're going to accrue unlawful presence and they're not going to be able to adjust. Yep. So that's a big problem. Lots of people are having that problem. There's lots of documents that the Catholic Church is having a lot of problems with that because cases that used to go quickly are now taking 4 years and people are getting at real risk of falling out of status.
So don't you think if this person leaves the United States and the fact that the person has overstayed is going to impact on the visa?
Okay, so how long ago did the person's status run out?
So if I say probably 7-8 months.
Okay, so now they have a 3-year bar if they leave the United States.
Exactly.
They can't adjust. They can't adjust because they're out of status. In order to adjust status, unless you marry a U.S. citizen, you have to be in status. So unless they adjust their status, unless they leave the United States, if they stay now, it's just a 3-year bar. If it gets over a year, then it's a 10-year bar. So
10-year bar. Mm-hmm.
You're right. This is a big problem.
It's a very big problem. Yeah, it's a very big problem. That's why I was wondering which would be the lesser evil. Leaving, you're gonna have a problem. Staying, you're gonna have a problem.
Well, staying, they're never going to get status. Staying, they'll never get status because they're out of status, unless they marry a U.S. citizen. That's it.
And then the second question I had for you is, with the F1 preference category for children of U.S. citizens who are over the age of 21, do you think those people could stay in the U.S. and file concurrently I-130 and I-485? Or if it's not possible, now, do you think the person can remain after the I-130 has been filed for by the U.S. citizen?
No, that doesn't work. They're not immediate relatives. That only works for spouses and underage children.
Minor children, yes.
U.S. citizens. Yeah, that doesn't work. It doesn't work that way. Filing an I-130 in a preference category doesn't give you the right to stay or work or anything.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I've been listening to your shows every day. I really appreciate all you do. I mean, it's wonderful. I mean, to have lawyers like you do this every time. And I did send you an email yesterday. I just hope you can get email.
Okay.
Read through.
Thank you, Georgie.
Thank you. Have a nice one.
See you, buddy. Yeah, Juli, can you let Romel know that I'm still on the show? He just tried calling me. Probably got a case. And tell him, too, that I have a call right at 1 for a different person. All right. Music fun. How fast is Abu Dhabi Embassy? Hey, everybody. how fast is the Abu Dhabi embassy? They're busy, so I would say slow, probably 10 to 12 months after DQ. Sunshine, my daughter did I-130 for me and got approved. I live in Guyana, South America. How long do I have to wait for an appointment date? She filed in October 2023. Well, it depends on, I would imagine the I-130 just recently got approved, so you still have to do all the stuff, Sunshine, at the National Visa Center, pay the fees, file the affidavit of support, file the DS-260, get all that squared away, which takes 2 or 3, 4 months. You get documented qualified. Guyana is actually pretty fast. We like that embassy a lot. They handle all the Cuban stuff. So I would say you're still, depending on when the I-130 got approved by USCIS, you're still probably 6 to 12 months from getting your visa. Srahan says, I married at my home country just a few days before the I-45 approval based on EB2. Can I file I-842 now? That's file to join. I don't know the answer to that question, Srihan. I'd need to look it up. So if you want to email us, that's something I should know. I think that you might have had to have the marriage done before the 485 was approved, but I don't know for sure. So send me an email and I'll try to figure it out. All right. Let's go to F. F, are you there? Hello.
Hello. Hi, Mr. Jim. How are you?
Great. How are you doing?
I'm good. Mr. Jim, please, I have a question. So I'm about to apply for citizenship within a couple months, and I am, like, I have my own trucking company. What I was trying to do is, like, when I come back to hire, like, Jim Hacking to apply for my citizenship, I can
Sure.
use their office like as a mailing address. But what I'm trying to do is I'm not planning to rent like a place for me because I'm a single person. Uh, so what do I do with my physical address if they ask me? And what do I do also with my driver license if I don't have a place to stay or I'm just like staying in my own truck?
Yeah, that's a good question. That's a good question. I think so you're like an over-the-road truck driver and you go all over the country.
Yeah, I'm growing my own business, so I don't go home much, maybe like once or twice a year. So that's the reason why I want to like give up my apartment after my lease is up and just stay in my truck within the next like a year or two. So I don't need to rent a place for me. Uh, yeah, so I don't know what to do with my driver license and my for the mailing address. Yes, we can use you guys office for mailing. But what about the physical address?
How did you get your green card?
I'm a refugee, and actually, I hired you guys 2 years ago to get my green card.
Awesome. Yeah.
So I'm a granted refugee status.
Mhm. I would say that generally I'm opposed to using your work address as your, I mean, is your work address at least in the same, so we have a couple of problems we need to think about. Is your work address in the same hometown as your work address?
So my work address is like, so it's my own company. So my work address is my apartment. That's what I have my work address as.
Okay.
That's,
What did,
yeah.
yeah. And so that's been your official address for a long time, right?
Yes, it is my address.
So,
My work address and my home address.
but you're just hardly ever home and you don't leave the United States, right? You're just doing everything inside the United States, right?
Yeah, I'm here all the time. Like I'm here, I'm just traveling. Like I'm just traveling
Right.
between the states. I don't even leave the states.
Yeah, but it's all over the country, right?
Yes.
Okay. So would you
I
be
have,
willing to keep your apartment while you apply for citizenship? Is that going to be too much of a hardship for you?
no, that's why I'm asking. Like, if that's something like I really have to have. So what I was thinking about is I was thinking about renting a storage and have my stuff there and use that as a physical address. But I'm not sure if that will work. But if I have to have a physical address, I can just like move to like a cheapest apartment like I can find in Dallas and just
Yeah.
keep it there as a physical address if that's something I have to do.
So there's this little weird rule that I'm worried about with you traveling as much as you do. I don't have the actual language here in front of me, but the rule is that you must have resided for at least 3 months in the state where your application is filed. So
Yes.
so
So I
that's
have this apartment. I actually, sorry if I cut
you're
you
fine.
off, but
You're fine.
since I moved to the US, I've been living in Texas for 4.5 years. I've been living in Texas. I was in Austin, then I moved to Dallas. I have my license is in Texas. Yeah, so I know you have to be like 3 months in the same physical address, but I can like get another apartment and have my address matching to that apartment.
I think that's gonna save you a lot of headache if you could pull that off.
Oh,
Different people
yes. Uh-huh.
different people are giving suggestions. Nurse Laura says there's these things called micro apartments or apartments, and then Creaky Bone says that he grew up in Dallas, and there's a Web Chapel, a place called the Web Chapel that have really cheap places.
Okay.
So I think using a storage area or using a PO box, that's a real problem. Using
Really?
anything, even a work address, if that is an apartment, I would just leave it all. I would just find someplace really, really cheap and use that until you. When do you become eligible for citizenship?
By the end of December.
End of December. Okay, yeah. So I would say, sometime soon, get that cheap place and just use that.
Okay, and me traveling a lot, that has nothing to do with them, right? Because
No,
that's like what I do for a living.
Yeah, and like you said, your official address and your official residence is in Texas, so I think this is fine.
Yeah, okay. All right, thanks so much. Yeah, that's
Good
all
talking to you.
for me.
Have a good day.
Thanks so much. Thank you.
All right, see
Thank
ya.
you. Bye.
Bye. All right. Juan, are you driving or are you parked? I think he's parked. Juan, are you parked?
Yes, I'm parking outside of my job.
How you doing, bud?
Good, very good. And you guys?
Good. What's up?
So, do I have a question? So, I have used one expedited removal in 2010. So, can I still apply for parole in place of Biden?
What happened in 2010?
I tried to cross the frontier in Tijuana, and they gave me like an expedited removal.
And then you came back?
Yes, I'm living here from 2011.
Yeah, the Biden thing won't help.
If I have only the permit, that's fine, or nothing's gonna be for me.
No.
Okay, that's my question. Thank you.
Thanks, Juan. See you, buddy. All right, Bella's here. Hello, Bella.
Hi, can I turn my video off?
Bella, your video is off. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Great. Go ahead.
So I had a question. So I was studying in the US for 4 years, and then I was supposed to start grad school, but I was put into administrative processing, and I'm from Belarus, and people in my country wait for like a year for administrative processing. That's like a normal timeline right now.
For a student visa?
And for administrative processing.
For a student visa?
Yes. Well, for any kind of visa, yeah.
Okay, any kind of visa. Okay. All right, go ahead.
And I was wondering, while I'm in administrative processing, which will probably end next summer, but what if it doesn't? So right now, what if I apply for an K1 visa? So for example, let's say if I don't get the K1 visa approved by the time I get my F1, so then will they cancel the F1 because they're gonna say, oh, you have the K1 in processing right now, so we're just gonna cancel your F1 and you have to wait for that?
That's certainly possible. Yep.
Because I read that K1 counts as like a non-immigrant intent.
Technically, yeah. Technically that's true. Yep.
But so they're both non-immigrant. Can I have both at the same time, or have you guys heard about anything like that?
Yeah, but so you have a fiance in the United States who wants to file for an I-129F for you with USCIS. That's going to take about a year. Just the USCIS.
From start to finish?
No, just at USCIS. Then you're gonna start processing, and that's gonna take another 6 to 12 months. And by that point,
So that time.
Yeah, that all has to go through the same embassy. So what I'm worried about mostly, Bella, is they might think you tried to get the student visa to go be with your fiance when really all you wanted to do was go be with your fiance and you didn't really want to go to school.
Mm-hmm. Well, I showed them my offers from the school. It was a full funded position, so I don't think they will think that.
All right, well, good luck.
So do you think I can? Do you think it was more likely to interfere with F1, or do you think it's probably going to be okay?
I think it would interfere with your F1. I do, yeah.
So it's better to just wait it out on the F1?
Maybe.
Do you have any...
It depends if we think you're really going to get the student visa. If we think you're going to get it, then I would just sit tight. If you're not sure if you're going to get it, then I might just start what the fiance visa process.
Mm-hmm. Have you guys ever filed a writ of mandamus or mandamus? I'm not sure what it's called, for F1 visas for administrative processing.
I have. Yep, I have. Yep.
Because I read a lot of cases of people doing it, and they just always get the motion to dismiss and gets granted.
Yeah,
so
especially now because they've already said that a U.S. citizen doesn't have the right to have their spouse here. So then I think they're just going to transfer that over and say you don't have a right to a student visa. I got to go, Bella. Good luck.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. All right, everybody. That'll do it for today's show. We'll do a show over the weekend. Don't know when. Probably on Sunday. If you want to find out when I'm going live, it could be on Saturday, but probably not. If you want to find out when we're going live, it's text the word show to 314-470-3300. Text the word show to 314-470-3300. Thank you much. Have a great weekend. No show tomorrow. And if we don't see you over the weekend, we'll see you on Monday at our usual noon o'clock. Thanks, everybody. And thanks, Huli. I got to bounce. So, Huli, I'll see you later. Bye. Thanks, Hina. See you, ladies. Bye, everybody. Big up to all the yardies. I'm great about that, other than trying to help people who are in a state of invasion.